Hello, this is William Thompson here from Signs of the Last Days Ministry, where we reveal world events as signs of the last days prophecies in Holy Scripture. There's been another significant event which just happened in Syria at the Euphrates River Valley, which is another sign of the coming fulfillment of the end of the age revelation prophecies around the Euphrates River. The event is where the United States military struck Pro-Syrian Regime Forces in the Euphrates River Valley, killing around 100 of the enemy with artillery, tanks, and rocket fire in response to what the U.S. called an unprovoked attack by them on the headquarters of the Syrian Democratic Forces, or SDF, a group of anti-Assad fighters the U.S. has trained and supported now for several years. These are signs of the prophecy in Revelation, the 9th chapter, in verse 13 through 15, where it says, "Then the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, Release the four angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates. So the four angels who had been prepared for the hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind." This sixth trumpet war in Revelation is about a final biblical world war in which the prophecy goes on to describe the armies and how that a third of mankind are killed in this war coming from the Euphrates River area, which runs right through Syria. Now, in this video clip we're about to show, which is from a branch of the U.S. military, watch and listen carefully to several signs of the prophecy inside it. It mentions Pro-Syrian Regime Forces, but that's a catch-all phrase for not only Assad forces, but it also includes the Russians and Iranians, which the clip also mentions. And also the Syrian regime original attack was on the SDF headquarters, but that also means that U.S. forces were attacked as well. And it says this was happening in the Euphrates River Valley. Let's watch the clip.
The U.S.-led coalition fighting ISIS in Syria conducted air and artillery strikes against pro-regime forces in Syria on Wednesday, killing over 100 pro-regime fighters, the coalition said in a statement. The coalition said the strikes had been carried out after forces allied with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad initiated an unprovoked attack against a well-established Syrian Democratic Forces headquarters, where coalition advisors were working with U.S.-backed Syrian fighters. Some 500 pro-regime troops carried out the attack using artillery, mortar fire and Russian-made tanks, a U.S. military official said. Syrian pro-regime forces maneuvered T-54 and T-72 main battle tanks with supporting mortar fire in what appears to be a coordinated attack on Syrian Democratic Forces approximately 8 kilometers east of the Euphrates River deconfliction line in Qushm, Syria, the military official said. The official said that about 20 to 30 artillery and tank rounds landed within 500 meters of the Syrian Democratic Forces headquarters before the U.S.-backed fighters and coalition forces targeted the aggressors with a combination of air and artillery strikes. We estimate more than 100 Syrian pro-regime forces were killed while engaging Syrian Democratic Forces and coalition forces, the official said. This action was taken in self-defense, he said, adding that pro-regime forces that returned across the river had not been targeted. The official said no coalition or U.S. personnel had been killed or wounded in the engagement, but that one member of the Syrian Democratic Forces was wounded. He said the coalition suspected that pro-regime forces were attempting to seize territory, including lucrative oil fields, that the Syrian Democratic Forces had liberated from ISIS in September. They were likely seeking to seize oil fields in Qushm that had been a major source of revenue for Daesh from 2014 to 2017, the official said, using the Arabic acronym for ISIS. Another U.S. official who spoke to CNN said it was unclear exactly who the pro-regime forces were, but that the U.S. is looking into whether Russian contractors operating in the vicinity might have been involved. This official added that there is no direct evidence yet that the Russians had fired on the Syrian Democratic Forces facility, where the U.S. advisors were located. They have not ruled out that Iranian-backed forces might have also been involved in the attack, this official said. The coalition cannot speculate on the exact makeup of the Syrian pro-regime forces who conducted the attack at this time, the U.S. military official said. The coalition said the attack took place in the middle Euphrates River Valley, 5 miles east of the agreed-on deconfliction line designed to separate Russian-backed regime troops and U.S.-backed forces in Syria.
The militaries of the world have been gathering at the Euphrates River Valley in response to Islamic troubles and now find themselves facing off across the prophetic Euphrates. The U.S. commander there said his biggest worry is that of a miscalculation, and this area is swirling with turmoil and armies, and it's a situation that is ripe to where the right trigger event can cause it to explode into prophetic fulfillment of the prophecies. As always, it will come together quickly and happen suddenly. These are signs urging us to prepare for the coming of Jesus Christ. Go now to our website, signsofTheLastDays.org, and watch the video, Next Steps to the Rapture.
Signs of the times are everywhere. There's a brand new feeling in the air. Keep your eyes upon the eastern sky. Lift up your head, redemption draws.